Stop abandoning yourself. Why your soft girl era starts in the storm, not after it. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French, and I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I want to share something with you that completely shifted how I think about healing, about strength, about what it means to finally choose yourself. I recently had the honor of sitting down with Niesha Gould, a woman whose story is a masterclass in resilience, faith, and the courage to break generational chains. Nisha is a mother, a survivor, a chain breaker, and someone who has chosen celibacy since December 2019, not as punishment, but as protection, as obedience, as a sacred pause. Her journey from New York to Georgia, from survival mode to softness, is one that every high achieving Black woman needs to hear. Nisha is making the world a better place by showing Black women that healing is not a luxury, it is a birthright, and that choosing yourself is not selfish, it is sacred. Because what Nisha taught me and what I want to share with you today is this: your soft girl era can be born in the middle of your hardest season, Des, not after it. Let me say that again. Your soft girl era can be born in the middle of your hardest season, not after it. We have been taught to believe that softness is a reward, that rest is something you earn, that peace comes after you have checked all the boxes, healed all the wounds, fixed all the relationships, built the business, raised the kids, paid off the debt, and finally arrived. But what if that is a lie? What if the decision to be soft, to protect your peace, to set boundaries, to choose yourself, is not the destination, but the decision you make right in the middle of the storm? Nisha's story challenges everything we have been told about strength. She grew up in Long Island, New York, the youngest of four in a West Indian household where jealousy did not come from strangers, it came from family. She experienced childhood abuse that mirrored the raw survival you see in the hardest environments, not the glamorized version, but the kind that leaves scars you carry into adulthood. Her own mother admitted to being jealous of her. Think about that for a moment. The woman who was supposed to protect her, nurture her, celebrate her, admitted to envying her. That kind of wound does not just heal overnight, it shapes how you see love, how you see yourself, how you move through the world. And yet, Nisha survived. She worked two jobs to provide for her children with no child support, no financial help, sacrificing her own needs so they would never go without. She carried the weight of motherhood, of survival, of generational trauma, all on her own shoulders, or so she thought. Because what Nisha discovered in the middle of all that struggle was that she was never actually alone. God was with her even when she felt abandoned, even when she was exhausted, even when she was giving her body to men who did not deserve her. God was covering her, protecting her, preparing her for something greater. In December 2019, Nisha made a decision that would change her life. She chose celibacy, not because she had it all figured out, not because she was healed and whole and ready, but because her body needed a break, because God was telling her to stop abandoning herself, because she finally realized that giving herself away to people who did not value her was not love, it was self betrayal. And that decision, that boundary, that sacred pause became the foundation of her soft girl era. Now, I want you to sit with that for a second. Nisha did not wait until her family was healed. She did not wait until she had financial stability. She did not wait until she moved to Georgia and found peace. She made the decision to protect herself, to honor herself, to choose softness right in the middle of the chaos. And that is the counterintuitive truth I want you to walk away with today. Softness is not the reward at the end of the struggle. It is the decision you make inside the struggle to stop abandoning yourself. For Black women, especially those of us who are professionals, entrepreneurs, mothers, leaders, this is revolutionary because we have been conditioned to believe that our worth is in how much we endure, how much we sacrifice, how much we carry. The strong Black woman narrative tells us that we do not get to rest. We do not get to be soft. We do not get to say no, because if we do, everything will fall apart. But what Niesha's story shows us is that the opposite is true. When you choose yourself, when you set boundaries, when you protect your peace, you do not fall apart. You finally start to heal. Let me tell you about Dr. Thema Bryant. She is a Black woman psychologist, an ordained minister, a trauma expert, and the current president of the American Psychological Association. Dr. Bryant has spent her career studying the impact of what researchers call the strong Black woman schema on mental and physical health. This schema, this cultural expectation, pressures Black women to be self sacrificing, emotionally suppressed, and endlessly resilient at the expense of their well being. Dr. Bryant teaches that true healing requires self compassion, boundaries, and spiritual integration, not just survival. She uses culturally grounded therapy, storytelling, and faith based language to help Black women see that choosing rest, softness, and emotional honesty is not weakness. It is recovery, it is strategy, it is leadership. Dr. Bryant is herself a survivor of trauma, including displacement from Liberia due to civil war. Her personal journey of integrating spirituality and psychology mirrors what Niesha discovered, that even in the hardest seasons, God was there. Her work has helped reshape conversations about Black women's mental health, centering the importance of healing from trauma instead of glorifying endurance. Many Black women professionals and leaders credit her books, her podcast, her teachings with giving them permission to rest, set boundaries, and seek therapy, practice that supports sustainable success in work and life. Her message is clear: choosing softness, boundaries, and spiritual grounding is a powerful form of leadership. And that is exactly what Niesha did. She chose recovery over performance. She chose boundaries over people pleasing. She chose God over guilt. And in doing so, she became a chain breaker, not just for herself, but for her children, for her lineage, for every Black woman who has been told that softness is a luxury she cannot afford. Now let's talk about what it means to be a chain breaker, because this is where Nisha's story gets even more powerful. She recognized that her family was stuck in cycles of jealousy, um, unhealed trauma, and dysfunction. She tried to help. She tried to fix it, but she realized something crucial. If everyone is not making a valiant effort, the system stays broken. And her job was not to save everyone. Her job was to live differently, to parent differently, to love differently, some, and to set a new pattern. So she moved from New York to Georgia, from chaos to peace, from survival to softness. And she did it knowing that it might mean emotional distance from family. She did it knowing that she would no longer be the nice girl who said yes to everything. She did it because she understood that honoring where you come from does not mean staying in what is breaking you. This is a lesson that every Black woman in leadership needs to hear. You can be the chain breaker without being the family savior. You can honor your roots and still walk away to protect your peace. You can love people from a distance and still be whole. Let me tell you about Myleik Teal. She is the Black woman founder and CEO of Curlbox, a subscription service for natural hair products. Myleik is known for her candid conversations about boundaries, emotional growth, and building a life and business that reflect your values as a Black woman. She entered entrepreneurship as a Black woman in the beauty industry, which historically overlooked Black consumers and Black women leaders. She navigated her own personal history of poor boundaries and people pleasing while stepping into the role of a CEO and later a mother. She had to manage the pressure to do it all and have it all without sacrificing her mental and emotional health. Malik intentionally built Curl Box around serving Black women's real needs, honoring the community she comes from, and centering their experience. She speaks openly about setting boundaries, saying no, and no longer living for other people's approval. She has discussed how motherhood required her to be more strategic with her time and energy. Curlbox became a leading subscription brand in the natural hair space, and Myleik emerged as a respected voice on entrepreneurship, self worth, and financial independence for Black women. Her approach helped many Black women entrepreneurs see that you can build success without replicating the grind till you break model, and that boundaries are an asset, not a liability. Before launching Curlbox in 2012, Myleik worked in PR and learned the industry from the inside, which positioned her to create a brand that truly understood Black women consumers. She often shares that part of her growth was learning not to repeat patterns from her past, emotionally, romantically, and professionally, um, much like Nisha's commitment to be the chain breaker in her family. My leak story shows Black women that you can design a business around your values, your peace, and your boundaries, not just profit. Her journey reinforces the message that saying no, choosing yourself, and refusing to repeat old cycles in relationships and in business is a form of power, not selfishness. And here's the thing, healing is not just emotional work, it is strategic work. For Black women building careers and businesses, unhealed trauma shows up as overworking, undercharging, choosing the wrong partners, tolerating disrespect, and burning out. Healing is a business decision. It is a leadership decision. It is a parenting decision. When you heal, you make better choices. You set better boundaries. You attract better opportunities. You build better legacies. Research backs this up. There is a peer reviewed study that examines how the cultural expectation for Black women to be perpetually strong, self sacrificing, and emotionally guarded affects their mental and physical health. It focuses on Black women navigating work, family, and community roles under high stress. The study found that Black women often feel compelled to hide vulnerability, avoid seeking help, and prioritize others above themselves due to the strong Black woman ideology. This leads to chronic stress, burnout, and difficulty setting boundaries in professional, romantic, and family settings. The research suggests that releasing the need to be strong all the time and embracing emotional authenticity are critical for Black women's mental health. It highlights the importance of supportive networks, therapy, and spiritual practices that allow Black women to feel cared for, not just depended on. The study found that Black women who challenged the strong Black woman schema by seeking support, setting boundaries, and allowing themselves to rest, experience better mental health outcomes. It confirms that what Niesha did, choosing celibacy, moving for peace, refusing to keep playing the same family role, is more than personal preference. It is a protective health factor. The strong Black woman narrative has roots in both racism and sexism, where Black women were historically expected to be resilient caregivers with no needs of their own. This study gives scientific backing to the message choosing softness, boundaries, and self care is not indulgent, it is necessary for survival and thriving. For Black entrepreneurs and professionals, this means that embracing a softer, more healed version of yourself can directly improve performance, decision making, and longevity in your career. So let's bring this home. What does all of this mean for you? It means that you are allowed to redefine strength. Strength is not staying in trauma, toxic relationships, or unsupported situations just to prove you can handle it. Strength can look like celibacy, like moving away, like cutting off unhealthy family dynamics, like saying no more, even when it means starting over alone. Redefining strength is foundational to entering your own soft girl era. It means that healing is a strategy, not a luxury. The work Nisha did, healing childhood abuse, releasing her mother's jealousy, breaking generational patterns, was not just emotional, it was strategic. It positioned her to be a better mother, a better leader, a better version of herself. And it means that you can be the chain breaker without being the family savior. You can honor where you come from and still walk away to protect your peace. You can live differently and parent differently, love differently, and set a new pattern without carrying the weight of everyone else's healing. Niesha Gould is living proof that your soft girl era can be born in the middle of your hardest season. She chose celibacy in the storm. She chose boundaries in the chaos. She chose God when she felt alone. And she chose herself when the world told her she was being selfish. And because of that, she is free. She is healed. She is soft. And she is thriving. So here is what I want you to do. I want you to stop right now and ask yourself this question. If you stop proving how strong you are for just 1 year and instead treated your healing, your boundaries, and your peace as your top priorities, what would you start doing differently tomorrow? And what would you finally stop tolerating? I want you to take one concrete step in the next 24 hours. Set a boundary. Say no to something that drains you. Book a therapy session. Get quiet with God. Make a plan to leave an unhealthy situation. And as you move through your week, I want you to ask yourself, am I living like I am alone or like I am supported, loved, and worth protecting? Because here is the truth that nobody wants to tell you. The world will take everything you give it. Your family will take everything you give them. Your job will take everything you give it. Your community will take everything you give them. They will take and take and take until there is nothing left of you but exhaustion and resentment and the faint memory of who you used to be before you became everyone's savior. And the most devastating part, they will call it love. They will call it loyalty. They will call it strength. They will tell you that this is what good women do, that this is what strong women do, that this is what faithful women do. And you will believe them because you have been taught to believe them. Because the alternative, choosing yourself, feels like betrayal. But let me tell you something that will set you free. Choosing yourself is not betrayal, it is survival, it is wisdom. It is the most loving thing you can do, not just for yourself, but for everyone who depends on you. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead from a place of depletion. You cannot love others well when you have abandoned yourself. So I am asking you right here, right now, to make a different choice. I am asking you to choose softness. I am asking you to choose rest. I am asking you to choose boundaries. I am asking you to choose healing. I am asking you to choose yourself, not after you have earned it, not after you have proven yourself, not after everyone else is okay, but right now, in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the struggle, because your soft girl era is not waiting for you at the finish line. It is waiting for you right here, right now, in the decision to stop abandoning yourself. So, what are you going to choose? Are you going to keep grinding until you break, or are you going to give yourself permission to be soft, to be healed, to be free? The choice is yours. And sis, you are worth it. You are supported. You are loved. And you are absolutely worth protecting. Now go choose yourself.